No Film School's coverage of NAB is brought to you by Limelight, makers of professional lighting for independent filmmakers. My Road Reel International Film Contest. Enter at myroadreel.com.
Hey, we're here with Mitch Gross from Convergent Design, and we're here to talk about the Odyssey 7Q and the new Athena. So this is the Odyssey. It's a monitor, but it does a lot of other things as well. So tell us what else it does besides just monitoring.
Well, first off, it's a fantastic monitor. It's an OLED panel with 1280 by 800 resolution, and it's just as OLED. It's just a really accurate image, great blacks, really accurate colors. We can record, because it is also a really high-featured recorder, we can record HD, we can record RAW, we can record 4K video or 4K RAW. We have lots of capabilities in that, so much so that when we're just doing regular HD, good old-fashioned 1920 by 1080 video, we have so much more capacity. We're like, well, let's see what else we could do with that. Yeah. We can do so many things that we can take 4 HD signals at once and feed them into the Odyssey. So we could have up to 4 images on screen. We have a whole setup going for a multi-camera setup. We can do that for viewing, great, and it's a live switch, so you can just switch between A, B, C, and D inputs, or you can look at all 4 of them in a quad view, divided up on your screen all at once. Later on, we're going to have that so you can record all 4 as individual Apple ProRes 422HQ files, simultaneously, 4 of them, recorded all of them as one unit, so it's really like a 4-in-1 recorder. Now, that's great if you want to have an integrated record system. You can also use the switch and like send it out because it has SDI and HDMI outputs. So you could go, like, if you're doing a live stream system or something, you can have multiple cameras covering an event and live stream that to the web or however you want. Or you could be editing, you could be taking that material, and we'll also create a little EDL file when you are recording, and that'll be your time code numbers so that you will have an edit decision list. You could take all that back into Final Cut or Premiere or Vegas or whatever, and you'll be able to tweak your edits because you'll have your original ISOs all recorded. If you only have 3 cameras going in, the 4th channel will act as your edit. You record the switching between the other 3.
Like it's down mixed to 1. Right,
so it'll just that'll be your edited version, and of course you can always change it because you have the original 3 recorded as individual ISOs. So it's really powerful that way as a switcher recorder system.
And it's all wireless and mobile here. I see you're just carrying it.
This is another concept with that, because let's say you're not doing that. Let's say you're shooting multi-camera, but you're gonna do that edit and post, but as a director or as a DP, you like to see what both cameras are doing. So we made this little system here. Here's 2 Teradek bolts, and we made this bracket so that a couple of batteries, little camcorder batteries, will run this whole system. Odyssey and the Teradeks run for like 4 or 5 hours. It only weighs 3 or 4 pounds. So take this guy, strap it on. I'm now got a little hood to shut out the outside world. I'm looking at 2 cameras at once. I can have run around, I don't know the last set I've been on that only had 1 camera. That everybody's shooting multi-cameras, and you can see what your coverage is. You don't have to have this going back to some tabletop base station or whatever, and then I've seen people do crazy rigs with 2 monitors and batteries and looks like a big steering wheel kind of rig that you'll hang onto. This is all right here, only weighs a few pounds, and just it'll run for hours and hours. Just give this to the director. If you give it to the DP, or maybe it's not wireless, maybe you just take it and mount it on the camera, on the A camera, and the B camera has a feed going to it. All the imaging tools that are built into this are active even for multi-stream. So let's say I have 2 pictures up and I turn on the waveform monitor. I have a waveform that is 2 side-by-side waveforms, and then I can compare my exposures. I can put into RGB mode, red, green, blue. And now I can see my color balance.
It's a whole video village.
It's a complete DIT station at that point. So I could go and tweak the color balance. I can match my 2 cameras perfectly because I got them both on screen, and I have all the scopes that work for both signals at once. So you're talking about replacing tens of thousands of dollars of gear in this one tiny little box.
It records to SSDs?
Records to SSDs. We have them right here. Little awkward standing here like that, but there we go. Regular size 2.5-inch eSATA connection So we use our SSDs because they're all power protected and it all integrates with the system. So we guarantee these. We know these are going to work. And the outside ones, you never know what might happen. So it's just to protect people's stuff.
And then they're different codecs as well, right?
Yes, you can record depending on what kind of camera you're shooting with. You could record a video signal that's in ProRes or in DNx HD soon, or DPX files. Or if you're using one of the RAW recorders, RAW cameras, this can become a RAW recorder, and you can be recording ARRI RAW from the Alexa, or from the C500 you can be recording Canon RAW, or from the FS700. Now we can record every mode out of that camera, 4K RAW, 2K RAW, taking the 4K RAW and turning it into HD, and it's much better than the quality that comes out of the camera in the first place. We can record all of those right onto these SSDs. We have it in 256, we have it in 512. By this fall, IBC time, we'll have it in a terabyte drive size. So there's 2 of them, so that would be 2 terabytes of memory. It's huge capacity in here.
So there's so many options. I'm sure there's a base price and then codecs and SSDs. What is the price of something like this for to buy or to rent? Where is that?
The Odyssey 7Q itself is $2,300, and then all the raw record options or the multi-stream recording, multi-stream viewing is free, and ProRes and DNx and DPX, that's free. But if you have a raw camera and you want to record that, or if you want to record the multi-stream when we make that available later this summer, those are optional modes. They're all built in, and you can test and look at them and see what the workflow is, but if you try to actually record it, you get a line through the frame, and that's just, you don't get it for free, don't try and steal it. But all you do is go onto our website and you pay using a credit card kind of thing, and then you get an access key, and then it'll just remove that line from the recording. So it's all built in. You can, like 2 o'clock in the morning, you got to shoot the next day, you just log into our website, you get that key, you type it in. You don't have to download a big file or anything like that. It's all there ready and waiting for you. So you buy those as you need them for what kind of camera and what kind of shoot you're doing.
Okay, and where does someone buy this or find out more? What's your website?
Well, you can go to convergentdesign.com, convergent-design.com, and get lots of information about it. To purchase this, we have a complete dealer network list. There's all the usual suspects, kind of thing, the big dealers, and there's a list on our website, but then you can also just ask around our big dealers.
There's this nondescript looking box.
This nondescript little cardboard box got a proof of concept. This is our product preview of the new Athena recorder. This is a 4K multi-stream player recorder, encoder, decoder. What does all that mean? Well, look at all this connectivity on this tiny little box. You've got 4K, you've got multi-stream, you have 4K multi-stream. So I could have 2 channels, 2 individual feeds of 4K up to 30p. If you did it single stream, you would up to 60p. I can record that. I can play it back from here. I can do 2K or HD, 60p, up to 4 cameras.
So this is like an excellent tool for DITs.
This is a deck. What we're looking at here is a deck replacement unit. In fact, here's the standard deck connector for a separate control box to run and shuttle through a deck. This is a complete deck unit. This is also gigabit Ethernet right here. So I can load in file. Instead of going through SDI connections, I can load in or offload material via gigabit Ethernet. I could be doing a 4-camera shoot with 64 channels of audio. And imagine doing a sitcom or a small concert or an event or whatever that might be, going right into here and passing through, going to post live. They could get a proxy version, they could get a full res version of the thing. You could take that right through. So the workflow, it's never the time it takes to shoot it, it's the time it takes to get from one step to the next that costs a lot of money when you start getting to a larger scale. So you can make this flow very effectively that way.
And when are you guys planning on having this out there?
This is a proof of concept now. We're going to have working units at IBC with shipping by the end of the year. Think about this for digital cinema. This could be the box that runs your digital cinema projector. Think about this for digital signage systems, and you could be able to have this guy running whole video walls and such. Or think about this just as the independent producer, DP, director. You can shoot on a 4K camera now, but how do you show a client what stuff looks like? You don't, I mean, you're not going to take the camera over there. You're not going to like pick up your whole computer system and take it there. And if you do, it's a pain in the butt and it's not an efficient way to work. You can take a little SSD card. This little guy right here, I mean, look how tiny this thing is. It becomes not only a recorder, but it's an all-purpose player. It'll plug into whatever monitor system they've got or projector, and you'll be able to it'll auto-sense whatever it's plugged into, and it'll down-res or up-res or full play at the capabilities of what that system is, and you can show your material anywhere, anyhow.
That's great. Mitch, thank you.
Thank you.